Welcome back to Joyfully at Home. Today we're going to make a really old-fashioned recipe. It's been around for a very long time, but it's also very, very simple. And it gives you a quick, small-sized dessert where you're not going to have a ton of leftover if you're trying to watch what you're eating a little bit right now. It'll give you enough dessert for a family to have for an evening, and that's sometimes really all you want. So we're going to go ahead and do this old-fashioned dessert, and I think you're going to love it. It's Hot Fudge Sundae Cake. Essentially, Hot Fudge Sundae Cake is just a simple one bowl type of cake that in the end you will put a hot water bath on the top of it before you bake it, and that creates this wonderful pudding like hot fudge that when you scoop out your cake, that's your topping. It comes out wonderfully moist. It's a wonderful cake. It's so simple to make, and you can do it all basically in one bowl too, because I like to mix my final topping separately. So, but it's super easy. So we're going to go ahead and start. We have 1 cup of flour, 3/4 cup granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of baking cocoa, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and to that you just mix these up till your cocoa is all nicely mixed in. Doesn't take but just a couple of minutes. Now once you have all your dry ingredients together, we will add 1/2 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of oil, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And to my vanilla here, you'll see these little seeds. I actually added the vanilla bean paste from the inside of the vanilla bean to give it a little extra oomph. And just mix those together until you basically have your cake batter. So now that you have your liquid and your dry together, you're going to notice it's kind of a very thick sort of batter, which is exactly the texture you're going to want to see. Now this is where, if you want some nuts in your hot fudge cake, you can certainly go ahead and put them in. Just 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. If you don't want walnuts, you can certainly leave them out. You can even put chocolate chips in if you want a little extra, peanut butter chips, anything like that you want, or you can just leave it without it. Now we're going to go ahead and just take this into our pan, which you're going to have like a 9x9 glass pan, ungreased. You do not need to grease this because, as I say, your hot fudge sauce is going to be forming on the bottom. So you don't need to grease this pan. So just take your batter out of your bowl that you mixed everything in, and you just put it into your pan. So now to finish off our hot fudge sundae cake, we'll just take a cup of packed brown sugar. Just go ahead and get this smashed down in a bowl, and that's why I say technically I guess this is a two bowl recipe. And add to that 1/4 cup of baking cocoa. Just mix it together. All right, now that we've got this mostly all mixed up, we got a few little chunks of brown sugar here and there, and that's totally fine. We're just going to take this and just sprinkle it over the top of the cake batter. Just use all of it, get it right in the corners. This is what will turn into your hot fudge sauce. Now we'll take 1 3/4 cups of very, very hot water, just shy of boiling. So we'll just then go ahead, and it doesn't look like much yet, but it will later. Just pour this all over the top, and just like that. And now we'll put this in the oven, 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. When it comes out, you'll have the most wonderful cake with a spoonable hot fudge sauce that goes on the top.